Hey everyone, ready for a trip back in time?
Back in time. I'm game.
All right, well, today we're diving deep into the Islamic Golden Age.
Oh, wow.
But we're going way beyond just basic facts and figures.
I see, yeah.
We're going to really try to understand how this period shaped, the world we live in right now.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So get ready. You might have a few aha moments along the way.
You know, what's really fascinating to me about this era is it wasn't just like a bunch of random inventions or discoveries.
Oh, well, yeah.
It was like this dynamic fusion of knowledge, right?
Right.
Like this vibrant exchange of ideas across all these different borders and cultures.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine a network where the wisdom of, like the Greeks and the Persians and Indians and Chinese all just kind of came together.
Yeah, it's like a melting pot of ideas.
It's
a time of just intense, cross-pollination of knowledge. But how did it all start? Where did this burst of intellectual energy come from?
Yeah, that's the big question. Well, to understand that, we kind of have to rewind a bit. See, the groundwork was laid really early on.
Oh, interesting.
Prophet Muhammad's emphasis on education was huge.
Oh, yeah.
Knowledge wasn't just, encouraged. It was seen as this spiritual pursuit.
A way to connect with the divine.
Yeah, exactly.
So the seeds were planted early, and this, deep respect for knowledge really set the stage.
Right.
But then, the Islamic Empire expanded, and they encountered all these different cultures, the Greeks, Persians, Indians, Chinese.
Right.
Did all of that play a role?
Oh, absolutely. It's incredible, actually. Instead of rejecting those foreign ideas, they embraced them.
Wow.
They meticulously translated all these ancient texts into Arabic.
So they were preserving knowledge.
Yeah, preserving and building on it.
Wow.
Think about it. They were expanding on works by giants like Plato, Aristotle, Hippocrates.
That's amazing.
It wasn't just about protecting the past. It was about pushing it forward,
So instead of building walls, they were building bridges, connecting with the intellectual legacies of, all these other civilizations. That's remarkable.
It really is.
Speaking of remarkable achievements, I've always been fascinated by the Islamic world's contributions to astronomy.
Oh, yeah.
What was it about their approach that made them, stand out?
Well, for Islamic scholars, the night sky wasn't just something to look at and be, awestruck by.
Yeah.
It was a laboratory. They were, really meticulous about observing the stars and planets. But they didn't stop there. They actively experimented and refined existing knowledge.
Oh, cool.
Think of Al-Battani.
Okay, yeah.
A brilliant astronomer who actually refined Ptolemy's work.
Oh, wow.
He developed more accurate star maps and, these really sophisticated models of planetary motion.
That's impressive.
They weren't just taking what was already there. They were actively improving on it.
Yeah. So they were pushing the boundaries of what was known at the time.
Exactly.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, we have to talk about the astrolabe.
Ah, yes. The astrolabe.
It's more than just a cool-looking instrument.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Okay.
I mean, the astrolabe is, the perfect example of their ingenuity. It originated with the Greeks.
Uh-huh.
But Muslim inventors, they revolutionized its design and function.
In what way?
Well, it was kind of like the Swiss Army knife of astronomy. I mean, you could use it for so many things.
Oh, wow. Like what?
Well, you could use it to figure out your latitude.
Okay.
You could tell time with it, and even locate the direction of Mecca for prayer.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's a pretty incredible tool.
So they really did have a very advanced understanding of astronomy and engineering, it seems.
Oh, for sure.
Now, it wasn't just the stars that, captivated their interest. The Islamic world also made incredible strides in medicine.
Oh, absolutely. Especially compared to Europe at the time.
Yeah. So what was different about their approach?
Well, while Europe was, kind of stuck with these rudimentary medical practices, the Islamic world was embracing this much more empirical, hands-on approach.
Oh, okay.
They were really meticulous about documenting diseases.
Oh, wow.
Dissecting bodies to understand anatomy. They even developed specialized surgical tools.
It's amazing.
It was a completely different world.
So they were dissecting and documenting, while Europe was, kind of in the dark ages of medicine.
Pretty much, yeah.
And speaking of, giants in the field of medicine, we can't forget Ibn Sina.
Ah, yes. known in the West as Avicenna.
Right, Avicenna. His work is legendary.
Oh, absolutely. His book, The Canon of Medicine, it was like this massive encyclopedia of medical knowledge.
Wow.
I mean, it covered everything from anatomy to diseases and treatments. It was the medical textbook for over 500 years.
Wow. So it wasn't just influential in the Islamic world.
Oh, no, its influence stretched way beyond.
So given how advanced their medicine was, I'm curious, were pharmacies like a common thing back then?
Oh, yeah. Pharmacies were all over the place. They flourished. And get this, pharmacists had to undergo like all this intense training and licensing.
So they were taking it seriously.
Oh, yeah, they were serious about ensuring the quality and effectiveness of medicines.
Wow.
It was all about public health.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, they really prioritized it.
Speaking of prioritizing public health, I've also heard that they had public hospitals. Is that true?
Yes, public hospitals were a thing.
Wow.
Offering care to anyone, regardless of their, wealth or social status.
So the concept of healthcare as a right for everyone was already present back then.
It was a revolutionary idea for that time.
It's amazing how they were like pioneers in both science and social welfare.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's switch gears for a moment and talk about mathematics. The Islamic Golden Age is known for its contributions to math.
Yeah.
Was it really as groundbreaking as everyone says?
Well, let me put it this way. If you've ever struggled with algebra, you have Al-Khwarizmi to thank.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's considered the father of algebra. And the word algorithm,
Yeah.
it comes from his name.
Oh, wow.
His work laid the foundation for, all sorts of things.
Like what?
Like everything from architecture to economics.
That's incredible.
He wasn't just playing with numbers. His work had real-world applications.
So he was connecting those theoretical ideas with the practical.
Exactly.
And it wasn't just algebra, right? They had a deep understanding of geometry as well.
Oh, absolutely. And their grasp of geometry went way beyond just theory. It was woven into their art and architecture.
Oh, yeah.
You see it in the intricate geometric patterns that decorate mosques and palaces.
Yeah.
Each one of those designs is like a testament to their understanding of spatial relationships and mathematical principles.
It's incredible how they could blend mathematics and aesthetics so seamlessly. They saw the inherent beauty and order in numbers and shapes.
Right.
And they expressed that through their art.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It really is. Now, beyond their mastery of geometry, I've also heard they adopted a pretty revolutionary number system.
They did. They embraced the Indian numeral system, including the concept of zero.
Okay.
It might seem like a small thing,
Yeah.
but trust me, the introduction of zero was a game changer.
In what way?
Well, it completely revolutionized mathematics. It made more complex calculations possible. And what we use today as Arabic numerals actually came from this system.
Oh, wow. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's incredible how such a seemingly simple concept had such a huge impact.
Yeah. I mean, try doing math without the concept of zero. It's almost impossible.
Exactly.
And it affected everything, from science to commerce, even global trade. They were centuries ahead of their time.
They really were.
But let's pause here for a second. We've covered so much ground already.
We have.
Astronomy, medicine, mathematics, and we've only just scratched the surface.
That's right. There's still so much more to explore.
All right, so we've explored their advancements in astronomy, medicine, mathematics, but I know there's so much more to the story.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Their ingenuity didn't just stop there, right?
Not at all. In fact, their innovative spirit extended to engineering, too. Think about it. Cities, bustling cities with fountains, public baths, homes, all supplied with clean water.
Wow.
All through this intricate network of, aqueducts and underground pipes.
They had running water.
Oh, yeah. They were masters of water management, centuries ahead of their time when it comes to urban planning.
That's incredible. Clean running water for everyone. It sounds almost utopian for that era.
It was pretty advanced.
So they were really thinking big, tackling these practical challenges of urban life head on. But their engineering skills weren't just limited to, infrastructure, right?
Nope, not at all. This is where things get really interesting. Let me introduce you to Al-Jazari,
Okay.
the visionary inventor. He's often called the father of robotics.
The father of robotics. Wow.
Yeah. And his book, The Book of Ingenious Devices.
Ingenious devices. Okay, now I'm really intrigued. What kind of stuff are we talking about here?
Well, picture this. Water clocks that track time with incredible precision.
Okay.
sophisticated pumps that, drew water from rivers and wells, and even automata.
Automata, what are those?
Basically self-operating machines, designed to entertain or do specific tasks.
Like robots?
Kinda, yeah. And these weren't just toys or gimmicks. They were really pushing the boundaries of what was mechanically possible.
So they were really ahead of their time. What were some of his most notable inventions?
Well, there were so many. For example, he designed a pump that used a crankshaft.
A crankshaft?
Yeah, a revolutionary concept at the time.
Yeah.
That idea actually paved the way for, the development of the modern internal combustion engine.
Wow. So his inventions weren't just ingenious for their time, they actually had a lasting impact on the development of technology.
Absolutely. He was laying the groundwork for future innovations without even realizing it.
That's amazing. And of course, we can't forget about their architectural achievements.
Oh, right. Islamic architecture is truly stunning.
Yeah.
Take the Alhambra in Spain, for instance.
Oh, yeah. I've seen pictures. It's gorgeous.
It's not just a beautiful palace, though. It's also a testament to their mastery of, both aesthetics and functionality.
As so?
Well, the intricate stucco work, the perfectly proportioned courtyards, those innovative water features, it's like a perfect blend of art and engineering.
Yeah, it really is a remarkable blend of beauty and practicality. It seems like that fusion was a defining characteristic of their civilization. So we've talked about astronomy, medicine, mathematics, engineering, and architecture. But what about, the world of ideas? Did they make any contributions to philosophy?
Oh, absolutely. While all these advancements were happening in the sciences, Islamic philosophers were grappling with some of life's biggest questions. And what's interesting is that they didn't see a conflict between faith and reason.
So they weren't trying to separate those two things?
Not at all. Figures like Al-Farabi and Ibn Rushd, or Averroes as he's known in the West,
Okay, yeah.
they believed that truth could be found through both divine revelation and rational inquiry.
So they were trying to reconcile those two seemingly opposite ways of knowing.
Exactly. And their efforts to bridge that gap, they actually had a huge impact on European thinkers, like Thomas Aquinas.
Oh, wow. So their philosophical ideas weren't confined to the Islamic world.
Nope. Their ideas traveled across borders and influenced Western thought as well.
That's incredible. It shows how interconnected intellectual history really is. Now, speaking of influential Islamic philosophers, we can't leave out Al-Ghazali. His explorations of human understanding were really groundbreaking.
Yeah, Al-Ghazali was a deep thinker.
In what way?
Well, he really delved into epistemology, the study of knowledge itself.
Oh, okay.
He was wrestling with questions like, how do we know what we know? And what are the limits of human understanding?
Those are big questions.
They are. And they're still relevant today.
It really makes you realize that some questions are timeless, aren't they? No matter the culture or era, we're all grappling with the same fundamental questions about existence and knowledge. But their intellectual pursuits weren't all, serious and philosophical. They also had a rich and vibrant artistic tradition, right?
Oh, for sure. The Islamic Golden Age wasn't just about logic and reason. It was also about celebrating beauty, creativity, the human spirit. Think about Rumi, the Persian poet.
Oh, yeah, Rumi.
His words have touched hearts across cultures and religions for centuries. His poems talk about love, unity, and the divine in a way that transcends time and place.
Yeah, his poetry is amazing. It's so powerful and moving. It's incredible how his words still resonate with people after all these centuries. It really speaks to the universality of human emotions, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay, so we've got Rumi, the poet. What were some of the other forms of artistic expression that flourished during this era?
Well, calligraphy was considered like the ultimate form of Islamic art.
Oh, yeah. Calligraphy is stunning.
They took the written word and turned it into a visual masterpiece. Swirling Arabic script, adorning manuscripts, mosques, palaces. Each stroke was done with such artistry and devotion. It's not just writing. It's almost like a spiritual practice.
Yeah, it's like a dance of ink on paper. And of course, their architecture is known for those intricate geometric patterns and those beautiful mosaics.
Right. And those designs weren't just there to look pretty. They were infused with deeper philosophical and spiritual meanings.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They were fascinated by symmetry, order, the interplay of light and shadow. And they expressed all of that through their art and architecture.
So it's like every element of their art had a story to tell, a deeper meaning to convey.
Exactly. They weren't just creating beautiful things. They were expressing their worldview, their beliefs, their connection to the divine.
It's truly remarkable. They managed to integrate art, science and spirituality into every aspect of their civilization?
It was a very holistic approach to knowledge and creativity. However, even golden ages don't last forever. This period of incredible flourishing eventually started to decline.
Yeah, even the brightest stars eventually dim. What led to the decline of the Islamic Golden Age?
Well, it wasn't a sudden collapse. It was more of a gradual process. And there were both internal and external factors at play. One of the biggest external factors was the Mongol invasions in the 13th century.
The Mongols.
Yeah. The sacking of Baghdad in 1258 was devastating.
In what way?
Well, the House of Wisdom, that incredible center of learning,
Yeah.
it was reduced to rubble.
Oh, wow.
Countless precious manuscripts just gone forever. It was a huge loss for the intellectual world.
It's tragic to think about all that knowledge, all that history lost in an instant. It really shows how fragile civilizations can be, even those that seem so powerful and advanced. Were there other factors that contributed to the decline?
Yeah. As the empire started to fragment politically, the unity that had fostered all that intellectual exchange and collaboration, it began to weaken.
Oh, I see.
And there was also this rise in conservatism within certain circles. So the focus shifted away from scientific exploration and more towards, theological orthodoxy.
So it was a combination of external pressures and internal shifts that ultimately led to the decline. It makes you wonder, what if those things hadn't happened? Would the Islamic Golden Age have continued?
That's a question historians have been debating for a long time. It's impossible to know for sure, but what we can say is that even though the Golden Age came to an end, its impact continued to be felt around the world.
Ah, yes, the legacy. Tell me more about how their knowledge and innovations continued to spread even after the decline.
Well, picture this. European scholars, during the Renaissance, rediscovering the works of these Islamic thinkers. It was like passing a torch from one generation to the next. The knowledge that had been preserved and expanded upon by these scholars, it ignited revolutions in science, art, and philosophy in Europe and beyond.
So the Islamic Golden Age planted seeds that would blossom in other parts of the world centuries later. It's a great reminder that knowledge knows no boundaries, it transcends time and place. But their legacy goes beyond specific inventions or discoveries, right?
It does. The Islamic Golden Age really shows us what humanity can achieve when cultures come together, ideas are shared openly, and intellectual curiosity is encouraged.
It's an inspiring reminder that progress thrives on diversity, collaboration, and a willingness to embrace new perspectives. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground today. From the origins of the Golden Age to its incredible accomplishments, and from its eventual decline to its lasting impact on the world. But before we wrap up, I have a feeling you've got one final thought to share. Something for us to ponder, inspired by the wisdom of the past. Hearing about all these incredible advancements during the Islamic Golden Age, it really makes you wonder.
What's that?
Are there, golden ages happening right now that maybe we're just not aware of?
That's a really interesting thought.
Yeah.
It's easy to get so focused on our own present-day perspective that we might miss something groundbreaking happening in another part of the world or, even in a field we're not familiar with.
Yeah, totally.
Just like Europe was largely oblivious to the Islamic Golden Age while it was unfolding.
Right.
There could be amazing intellectual and cultural shifts happening right now that future historians will look back on and say, wow, that was a golden age.
That's kind of a humbling thought. Makes you want to, pay more attention and appreciate the potential for brilliance that's, maybe hiding in plain sight.
I think so, yeah.
Well, this deep dive has been a truly amazing experience. We've explored the factors that led to this incredible period of flourishing. We dove into those groundbreaking discoveries in astronomy, medicine, mathematics, engineering, even philosophy, art, and literature. And we've talked about, the complex reasons for its decline, but of course, celebrated its lasting legacy.
It's been a real testament to the power of human curiosity, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely.
The drive to explore, to question, and to create. It also highlights how important that cross-cultural exchange and collaboration is for driving progress.
So well said. If this deep dive has piqued your interest and you're eager to explore further, we've curated a whole bunch of resources for you in the show notes. Don't be shy, check them out.
Remember, the pursuit of knowledge, it's a lifelong journey. There's always something new to discover, some new connection to make. So keep those minds open, stay curious, and who knows, maybe you'll be part of the next golden age of discovery.
That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the Islamic Golden Age. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.